What if I told you that the fact you are here right now, listening to these words, is itself the proof that you are chosen for wealth? Not everyone finds this message. Not everyone is ready, but you did. Out of billions of people, your path led you here, and that is no accident. Something deep within you already knows you were designed for freedom, for abundance, for overflow. And tonight, I'm going to show you why your millionaire destiny is not a dream, but a law waiting for your command. But before we begin, please take a moment to hit the like button and let me know in the comments where in the world you are watching from today. It's always powerful to see this global circle of souls connecting through the same truth. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because every video here is not casual entertainment, it's spiritual training, designed to reprogram your mind into wealth consciousness until money obeys you as faithfully as gravity. Now, let me ask you something very directly. Have you ever wondered why you feel restless in your current financial life? Why, even if you have a job, even if you pay your bills, something in you whispers, "This can't be it. I was made for more." That whisper is not greed. It is not ego. It is your divine self reminding you that abundance is your natural state and that mediocrity is not your home. Look around. Millions of people are content to struggle, to settle, to live in cycles of lack and limitation. But not you. You found this video because you are different. You are chosen to break that cycle. You are chosen to rise. You are chosen to become a vessel of wealth, not just for yourself, but so that you can give, uplift, and expand what is possible for everyone around you. Geneviève Behrend taught this truth over a century ago. Your mental picture is the force that molds your life. If you persist in a picture of wealth, wealth must appear. If you persist in a picture of limitation, limitation must appear. The difference between the millionaire and the struggler is not education, not luck, not background. It is the picture they hold most faithfully. So let's cut straight to the hidden truth. The reason you've struggled in the past is not because you weren't capable. It's because you allowed other people's pictures to overwrite yours. Family told you money is hard. Society told you only a few succeed. Culture told you wealth is reserved for the lucky. And without realizing it, you adopted those pictures as your own. But tonight, that changes. Tonight, you learn how to take back the blueprint of your destiny. Because the universe is not waiting to decide whether you are worthy of wealth. It already decided. The moment you were born with imagination, you were chosen. Your only work now is to use that imagination with precision, with persistence, with faith. So here is the first invisible key. Your millionaire life already exists. Let that sink in. Every dollar, every opportunity, every connection, every home, every gift, it's already prepared in the invisible. You're not trying to create it. You're aligning with it. You're stepping into it. Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you wake up and check your bank account. The numbers are different, not a little different, radically different. You see more zeros than ever before. You feel the surge of relief, the breath of freedom, the thrill of possibility. No more fear, no more pressure, no more limitation. Just space, joy, overflow. Now pause. Don't dismiss that image as fantasy. Don't say, well, maybe one day. Because the moment you pictured it, you touched the truth. That image is more real than your current account balance because it is cause. The outer world is only effect. The inner world is cause. This is why most people remain broke. They keep treating the outer as cause. They say, when I get more money, I'll feel secure. When I get a raise, I'll believe I'm worthy. When I get lucky, I'll start dreaming bigger. But they have it backward. The law doesn't work that way. You must feel secure first. You must believe you're worthy first. You must picture bigger first. And then the outer world rearranges itself to match. So let me ask you, what is the picture you've been holding of yourself? Be honest. Do you see yourself as wealthy, powerful, free? Or do you see yourself as struggling, always behind, never quite catching up? Because the picture you hold is the life you mold. And tonight, I invite you to drop the old picture. Tear it up, burn it, refuse it, and replace it with the picture of a millionaire life. Close your eyes with me for a moment. Take a breath. Now see yourself, not someday, but now, as a millionaire. Feel the confidence in your body. Feel the joy in your spirit. See the home you live in, the freedom in your schedule, the generosity in your giving. Hear the conversations where you say, I can handle that, I can give to that, I can invest in that. Smile, because this is not imagination, it is alignment. The law does not care whether you were born rich or poor. It does not care what the economy is doing. It does not care whether you think you deserve it or not. The law only cares about the picture you hold. Persist in that picture, and the law must obey. And here's the real proof that you're chosen. You're still listening. Right now, thousands of people have clicked away, distracted by fear, by doubt, by entertainment. But you stayed. That's the sign. Because something in you knows you can't go back to the old life. You can't unhear this truth. You can't unknow that wealth is your birthright. You are chosen, not by me, not by chance, but by law. So here's your first assignment. For the next 24 hours, hold one picture only, yourself as a millionaire. Not in the future, not one day, but now. Every time you touch money, see it multiplying. Every time you think of bills, see them already paid. Every time fear whispers, what if it doesn't work? Answer back, it already has. Say this aloud right now. I am already wealthy, my supply is endless, my fortune is here. Feel the vibration in your body. That is the sound of law responding. That is the invisible proof that your millionaire destiny has already begun. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money from the outside in. They work harder, cut expenses, try to save every penny, follow every new strategy, and yet somehow they still remain stuck, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering why money seems to slip through their fingers. Have you noticed this pattern? Maybe you've lived it yourself. You try harder than ever, but the harder you push, the more resistance you feel. Now, compare that to the few, the chosen. These are the people who seem to rise almost effortlessly. They lose everything, but somehow rebuild quickly. They start with nothing, yet opportunities flow to them in ways no one can explain. They are not necessarily more intelligent, more educated, or more deserving. They are simply aligned. They carry a different picture of themselves, and that picture pulls resources, ideas, and people toward them. Geneviève Behrend called this the law of the mental picture. Hold a mental picture long enough and strong enough, and it must become fact. The chosen are simply those who persist in the picture of abundance long enough for the law to fulfill it. The rest waver, contradict, complain, and the law fulfills that instead. So let's be clear. This isn't about luck. This isn't about privilege. This isn't about whether you come from money or not. The law doesn't recognize background. It doesn't check your resume. It doesn't care what your parents believed about money. The law only responds to the image you persist in. And right now, your life is the exact mirror of the picture you've held most consistently. If that mirror doesn't please you, then rejoice, because that means you can change it. And tonight, you will. Let's practice together. Think of one financial struggle in your life. Maybe it's a bill, maybe it's a debt, maybe it's the feeling that money never seems to be enough. Now, instead of staring at that image, replace it. See it dissolved. See it already handled. See your bank balance rising, your debts erased, your needs abundantly met. Feel the relief. Breathe deeply and say, this is my reality now. I live in supply. I live in freedom. Do you see what we just did? That's substitution. You replaced a picture of fear with a picture of abundance. And if you persist, the new picture must become your new reality. Now here's the challenge. Most people don't persist. They visualize for 5 minutes, then spend the rest of the day talking about lack, worrying about bills, and complaining about how hard life is. That's like planting a seed in the morning and digging it up every afternoon to check if it's growing. No wonder nothing changes. But you are chosen. And because you are chosen, you will persist. You will not waver between two pictures. You will hold one picture only, the millionaire version of you. You will live in it, breathe in it, walk in it, until it becomes as natural as the air you breathe. Let's go deeper. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. It's the middle of 2025. You are walking into a store. Instead of calculating what you can afford, you simply choose what you desire. You pay with confidence. You give a generous tip, not out of obligation, but out of joy. You smile because you know money always returns multiplied. That version of you already exists in the invisible. And every time you imagine it, every time you declare it, you draw it closer into the visible. Now, let me give you the truth about fear. Fear is nothing but faith in reverse. Fear is imagination misused. When you fear poverty, you are simply visualizing lack and calling it reality. But here's the power. If you can imagine lack so vividly that it terrifies you, you can imagine wealth so vividly that it frees you. The same imagination, the same mind, the same law, only pointed in a different direction. So here's your second assignment. Every time fear arises, don't fight it. Don't wrestle with it. Simply replace it. Say aloud, I see abundance. I feel abundance. I am abundance. And then immediately picture your millionaire self again. This is how you train the law. This is how you prove you are chosen, by refusing to let fear decide your picture. And let's talk about the word. Behrend was clear, your word is creative substance. Every time you say, I can't afford that, I'm broke, money is hard, you are programming the law to obey. And it does, without judgment, without hesitation. The law multiplies whatever command you give it. But when you declare, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways, every dollar I spend returns multiplied, I am wealthy now. You are programming the law in the opposite direction. And again, it obeys, without hesitation, without judgment, without delay. That means your mouth is your millionaire wand, your tongue is your fortune builder, and every word you speak is a brick in the financial house you are building. So be ruthless. Refuse to joke about being broke. Refuse to complain about money. Refuse to describe your current bank balance as though it were permanent. Speak only what you choose to multiply. Speak only what you want to live. Let's anchor this now. Repeat with me. I am chosen for wealth. I persist in the millionaire picture. I replace fear with faith. My words create my fortune. Money flows to me endlessly, and I circulate it with joy. Say them slowly. Say them with conviction, because the more you repeat them, the more your subconscious accepts them. And once your subconscious accepts them, the law expresses them. And here's the proof that this works. A man once came to Behrend burdened by debt. He felt cursed. He had lost everything. She told him one thing: hold the picture of yourself free, persist, declare it until it becomes real within. He obeyed. Within months, his debts were cleared, opportunities appeared, and his entire life shifted. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because the law had no choice once he persisted in the new picture. You see, you don't need to beg the universe. You don't need to fight for wealth. You don't need to convince God to bless you. The blessing already exists. The supply already exists. Your only task is to align with it through your picture, your word, your persistence. And right now, the fact that you are still here, listening, is proof that you are chosen to do exactly that. Let's move to one of the most powerful and most misunderstood truths about wealth: the law of circulation. The difference between those who stay trapped in scarcity and those who step into millionaire consciousness is not just how much money they make, but how they relate to the money they already have. Most people spend money with fear. Every bill feels like a loss. Every purchase feels like something slipping away. They hold their money tightly, gripping it as if hoarding it could protect them. But fear is the fastest way to choke circulation. And when circulation is blocked, abundance cannot multiply. Now think of water in a river. When it flows freely, it cleanses, it nourishes, it gives life. But what happens when water is dammed up, hoarded, stopped from flowing? It stagnates, it becomes unhealthy, it breeds decay. The same is true of money. The moment you try to hold it in fear, you poison it. But when you release it in faith, when you let it circulate, it grows, expands, and returns multiplied. This is why Geneviève Behrend taught that you must bless every transaction. She understood that spending is not loss, it is multiplication. Every time you circulate money with joy, with gratitude, with declaration, you are sending out energy that must return increased. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're paying a bill. Most people sigh, worry, complain. There goes my money. I'll never get ahead. But the chosen speak differently. They say, this payment clears the way for more. This money returns multiplied. Every dollar I spend opens doors for greater supply. Do you see the difference? One vibration communicates loss, the other communicates multiplication, and the law, which always obeys vibration, responds accordingly. So here's your next assignment. Never again spend money in silence. Every time money leaves your hand, bless it, speak over it, declare its return. When you give a gift, say, "This returns multiplied." When you pay a bill, say, "This opens channels for more." When you invest, say, "This seed produces abundant harvest." This single habit will transform your financial life because you'll stop seeing money as something scarce and start seeing it as what it truly is: spiritual energy in motion. And remember this: money takes on the vibration you release with it. If you send it out with fear, it comes back with loss. If you send it out with faith, it comes back with multiplication. That is why two people can earn the same income, but one grows wealthy while the other stays stuck. It's not about how much they make, it's about how they circulate. Now let's go even deeper. Imagine your money as a servant, a loyal, obedient servant. It has no will of its own, it only obeys your command. When you release it in faith, it carries your command into the invisible, gathers its increase, and returns with more. When you release it in fear, it obeys that too, returning with problems, shortages, and lack. The choice is always yours. So from now on, treat your money as sacred energy. Never curse it, never fear it, never speak against it. Always bless it, praise it, thank it, because gratitude and circulation are the twin doors through which wealth multiplies. Let's practice together. Take a deep breath. Think of the last time you spent money and felt anxious. Maybe it was paying a bill, maybe buying groceries, maybe sending money to someone else. Now imagine that same transaction again, but this time see yourself smiling, blessing the money, declaring, "This returns to me multiplied. This is not loss. This is circulation. This is increase." Feel the shift in your body. That relief, that joy, that is millionaire energy. That is circulation aligned with law. And here's something most people never understand. The law doesn't reward the hoarders. It rewards the circulators. You cannot hold on to money in fear and expect abundance to grow. But when you let it flow with faith, with joy, with declaration, the universe must return it in greater measure. Think of a farmer planting seeds. If he kept all his seeds locked away in fear of losing them, would he ever see a harvest? Of course not. But when he releases the seeds into the soil with faith that they will multiply, the harvest comes. Your money is the same. Every dollar you circulate with faith is a seed, and the soil of spirit guarantees a harvest. Let me tell you a story. A woman once came to Behrend worried about money. Every time she paid a bill, she felt panic. She lived in constant fear that her money would run out. Behrend told her to change her words. Instead of sighing, she was to bless each payment and declare its return. The woman obeyed, and within months, her financial life shifted. Unexpected income appeared. Opportunities opened. Why? Because she stopped cursing her money and started blessing it. She learned the law of circulation, and the law responded. So let's anchor this with affirmations. Say them aloud. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. Money flows freely to me and through me. I bless my money and it blesses me. My spending is not loss, it is circulation. I am wealthy because I circulate with joy. Say them slowly, with conviction. Let them sink into your subconscious, because once your subconscious accepts them, your entire vibration changes. And when your vibration changes, your reality must follow. This is what separates the chosen from the rest. Most people see money as a burden, as something that slips away, as something they must cling to. But the chosen see money as a friend, a servant, a river. They bless it, they circulate it, they trust it, and because of that, it multiplies for them. So remember this truth. Every time you spend money, you are not losing. You are sowing, and what you sow with blessing, you will reap with abundance. And if you've made it this far in the message, it's proof you're chosen. Because most people would have clicked away by now, unable to hear this truth. But you stayed, and that means you are ready to practice circulation. You are ready to treat your money as sacred. You are ready to step into the millionaire flow. Now let's turn to the foundation of all abundance, identity. You cannot consistently live above the image you hold of yourself. No matter how many affirmations you say, no matter how many techniques you try, if deep down you still see yourself as poor, struggling, or just getting by, the law will always agree with that inner identity. This is why some people seem to sabotage their success again and again. They win for a season, then somehow slip back to where they started. Why? Because their inner self-image pulled them back to its level. Geneviève Behrend explained this in her teachings. What you imagine, you become. Not what you wish, not what you hope, not even what you say once in a while. What you consistently imagine yourself to be, that is what molds into fact. So let me ask you directly, who do you believe you are? Do you see yourself as someone worthy of wealth? Do you see yourself as someone money loves to follow? Or do you secretly still see yourself as the struggler, the one who never quite makes it, the one who wasn't born into money? Be honest with yourself, because the good news is this: identity can be rewritten. The picture you hold of yourself can be replaced with a new one. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself standing in front of a mirror. But this is no ordinary mirror. It reflects not your current bank balance, not your current struggles, but the truest version of you. And what do you see? A millionaire. Calm, confident, free. Someone who walks into rooms with authority. Someone who spends without fear. Someone who gives generously because they know more is always on the way. Someone who trusts the law so completely that lack has become impossible. That is your true identity. That is the self you were always meant to embody. And when you accept this identity, the universe rearranges itself to agree with you. Think about this. You've probably seen people who win the lottery and lose it all within a few years. Why? Because their inner identity never shifted. They still saw themselves as broke, as undeserving, as temporary imposters. The money came, but the identity didn't match, and so the law returned them to their original state. On the other hand, you'll see people who lose everything. Businesses collapse, bank accounts emptied, and yet they rebuild within a short time. Why? Because their millionaire identity was intact. Their inner self-concept never wavered, and so the law restored them to what they believed themselves to be. The key lesson is this: money will always match your identity. If you see yourself as poor, even a fortune will vanish. If you see yourself as wealthy, even a setback will be temporary, because wealth will find its way back to you. So here is your next assignment. Begin rewriting your millionaire identity. Stop calling yourself broke. Stop identifying as someone who struggles. Stop saying, "I'm not good with money, I'll never get ahead." Those words are not just sentences, they are contracts. Contracts with poverty, and tonight, you cancel them. Say this aloud with me now. I cancel every contract I ever made with lack. I cancel every agreement I made with poverty. I now sign a new covenant with abundance. I identify as wealthy, I identify as free, I identify as chosen. Feel the power of those words. That is you stepping into a new identity. That is you taking control of the picture of yourself. That is you telling the law who you truly are. And remember, identity is not changed in a day. It is changed through repetition. Just as you once accepted the old picture by hearing it and repeating it again and again, so now you accept the new picture by repeating it daily until it feels natural. Each morning before you rise, declare, "I am wealth in motion. I am the millionaire identity." Each night before sleep, affirm, "I live in abundance. I cannot be poor." These words, spoken with conviction, will rewire your subconscious. And when your subconscious believes it, your reality must obey it. Let me share another story. A man once came to Behrend feeling defeated. He had failed in business, lost everything, and believed he was cursed. She told him, "You must change how you see yourself. Until you identify as wealthy, nothing will change." He began repeating daily, "I am wealthy, I am abundance." At first, it felt like a lie, but day after day, he persisted. And slowly, he began to feel different. He carried himself differently. He spoke differently. Opportunities began to appear. Within a year, his life had completely transformed, not because of luck, but because he finally aligned his identity with abundance. So do not underestimate this. The chosen are not simply those who know techniques. The chosen are those who embody the millionaire identity until it becomes their only truth. Let's anchor this with affirmations. Say them with me now. I am a millionaire in consciousness. I am chosen for wealth. My identity is abundance, and the law agrees with me. I cannot be poor because my inner self is rich. I walk, speak, and live as one who is already supplied. Say these daily until they feel more natural than the old words, until the identity of the struggler dissolves completely and the identity of the millionaire becomes your new normal. This is the great secret. You don't try to become a millionaire. You are a millionaire in consciousness, and the law must reflect it. And right now, by listening, by declaring, by accepting this truth, you are proving that you are chosen. Not because you stumbled into this message by accident, but because you were ready to accept the millionaire identity. And the moment you accept it fully, your life cannot stay the same. Now let's talk about practice, because knowing the law is not enough. Hearing these truths one time is not enough. Even agreeing with them in your mind is not enough. Transformation happens only when you practice daily, until the new rhythm becomes your normal state. Think about a musician. They don't master an instrument by reading about it or playing once a week. They practice daily until the notes flow naturally, without effort. The same is true of millionaire consciousness. You don't visit it once in a while. You live in it every single day until it becomes second nature. So let me give you the daily routine of the chosen. If you adopt this rhythm, you will hold the millionaire picture long enough, strong enough for the law to make it fact. The first moment you wake, before checking your phone, before thinking of yesterday's worries, you speak your identity. You say aloud, I am wealthy now, I am chosen, I am abundance. These words are not suggestion, they are command. They are the decree that sets your frequency for the entire day. Then, before rising, you practice visualization. Picture yourself already wealthy, not becoming wealthy, already wealthy. See yourself opening your bank account and smiling at the numbers. See yourself paying bills with ease, giving generously, living freely. Feel the relief, the confidence, the gratitude. Hold that picture until your body relaxes into it. That is the morning seed you plant in the soil of your subconscious. As you move through your day, you practice substitution. Whenever fear arises, whenever the old picture of lack tries to creep in, you do not fight it. You replace it. You say aloud, I see abundance, I feel abundance, I am abundance. And you return to your millionaire picture. This habit alone will save you from scattering your energy and sabotaging your progress. Next, you practice the law of the word. You guard your tongue. You refuse to complain about money. You refuse to joke about being broke. You refuse to describe your current conditions as permanent. Instead, you speak only what you want to multiply. When someone asks how you're doing financially, you say, I am abundantly supplied. When you think of your future, you declare, my wealth increases daily in expected and unexpected ways. Every sentence becomes a seed, and you choose only seeds of abundance. Throughout the day, you also practice circulation. Every time you spend money, you bless it. You never release money in silence again. Every transaction becomes spiritual. When you buy food, you say, this returns multiplied. When you pay bills, you say, this opens the way for more. When you give a gift, you say, what I give returns multiplied. This habit will change your entire relationship with money because you will stop seeing it as loss and start seeing it as multiplication. And finally, at night before sleep, you repeat the full visualization. You close your eyes, breathe deeply, and see yourself living the millionaire life. Bills paid, debts dissolved, opportunities flowing. You speak again, I am wealth, I am chosen, I am free. And you fall asleep in that state, impressing it on your subconscious so it can continue to work all night on your behalf. This is the daily rhythm of the chosen. Morning decree, visualization, word control, substitution, circulation, and evening rehearsal. And if you repeat it day after day, your subconscious cannot resist. It must accept the new identity. And once it accepts it, the law must express it. Now let's be honest. Most people won't do this. They'll hear it, nod their heads, feel inspired for a moment, and then go back to the same patterns. They'll visualize once or twice, then spend the rest of the week talking about lack. They'll declare abundance in the morning and complain about bills in the evening. And the law, which never fails, simply reflects their inconsistency. But you are different. You are chosen. The fact that you are still here listening proves it. The average person doesn't last this long. The average person clicks away, distracted, unable to sit with truth. But you stayed. And that means you are ready to practice daily. You are ready to embody the millionaire routine until it becomes who you are. So let me ask you, are you willing to commit to 7 days? Just 7 days of full obedience to this practice. 7 days of speaking only abundance. 7 days of holding the millionaire picture. 7 days of blessing your money. 7 days of refusing to contradict your new identity. Do you realize how much could change in a single week? Behrend often said, hold a picture long enough and strong enough, and it must become fact. If you give yourself even 7 days of consistency, you will feel the shift. Opportunities will appear, ideas will come, money will find its way to you. Why? Because the law never delays. The universe is not waiting years to bless you, it is waiting seconds for your alignment. So tonight, I challenge you, commit to the 7-day covenant. Speak it aloud. I commit to 7 days of millionaire consciousness. Write it in the comments below so it is sealed, and then live it, morning to night, day after day, and watch how quickly the law responds. Let's anchor this with affirmations. I practice abundance daily. I persist in the millionaire picture. My words are seeds and I plant only wealth. My money circulates and multiplies. I am the millionaire identity, now and forever. Say them slowly. Let them sink deep, because the repetition is not just noise, it is reprogramming. Every time you repeat them, your subconscious rewrites itself. And once it is rewritten, the law cannot resist, it must manifest. And here's the beauty. Once you establish this rhythm, you won't need to force it anymore. Just like a musician who eventually plays without thinking, you will speak abundance without effort. You will visualize wealth automatically. You will bless money instinctively, because it will have become your identity, your nature, your truth. And that is when life becomes effortless. That is when money flows as naturally as breathing. That is when opportunities seem to chase you instead of you chasing them. Because you are no longer trying to become wealthy. You are living as wealth itself. If you've stayed with me from the very beginning, through every picture, every affirmation, every declaration, then hear this. You are not watching by accident. You are here because you are chosen. Not everyone can sit through a message like this. Most people click away, distracted by noise, unwilling to sit with the truth that demands transformation. But you remained, and that is proof enough. You are set apart. Now let us bring everything together. We began with the truth of the mental picture. What you hold in your mind must eventually appear in your life. Wealth does not begin in the bank. It begins in the mind. And those who are chosen are those who persist in the picture of abundance until it takes form. Then we spoke of substitution. Every time fear arises, you replace it with faith. Every time lack whispers, you answer with abundance, and slowly fear loses its power because you refuse to fuel it. We spoke of the word, your mouth is your wand. Every sentence you speak is a decree. You no longer joke about being broke. You no longer complain about lack. You speak only what you want to multiply, and the law, faithful and precise, multiplies it. We spoke of circulation. Money is not meant to be hoarded in fear, but released in faith. Every dollar you spend, you bless. Every bill you pay, you declare its return. Every gift you give, you affirm multiplication. And so money flows through you like a river, ever expanding, ever returning. We spoke of identity, the true foundation of wealth. You do not try to become a millionaire. You identify as one. You see yourself as wealthy, free, supplied. And life has no choice but to reflect the picture you hold of yourself. And finally, we gave you the daily practice of the chosen. Morning decree, visualization, substitution, word control, circulation, and evening rehearsal. Day after day, until wealth becomes your nature, your rhythm, your reality. This is not philosophy, this is law, and law does not fail. Now let me speak to the part of you that still wonders, is this really for me? Can I truly step into this life? The answer is yes, and here's the proof. You wouldn't still be listening if it weren't. The average person has no endurance for this kind of teaching, but you do, and that means something. It means you're ready. The question is not whether you are chosen. You've already proven that. The question is whether you will act like it, whether you will persist in the picture, whether you will speak the word, whether you will practice daily until it becomes who you are. Because here is the ultimate truth. Chosen ones are not chosen because of luck, background, or special favor. They are chosen because they choose themselves. They decide, they persist, they embody, and because of that, the law must obey. So tonight, let me guide you through one last visualization. Close your eyes if you can. See yourself 1 year from today. You are walking through your home, bigger, brighter, filled with peace. You open your bank account and the numbers overflow. You smile, not with surprise, but with certainty, because you always knew this was coming. You give a gift to someone in need, not with hesitation, but with joy, because you know more is always on its way. You walk into every room with confidence, with calm, with authority, because you are no longer hoping for wealth. You are living as wealth. Hold this picture, feel it, own it, because the more you rehearse it, the faster it takes form. Now speak these words aloud with me. I am chosen. I am wealthy. I am abundance. My money multiplies. My identity is millionaire consciousness. Say them again until they feel natural. Say them until they sink deep. Say them until your subconscious cannot resist, because once your subconscious accepts them, the law must express them. And here is the promise. If you persist in this practice, if you hold the picture, speak the word, bless the circulation, embody the identity, and repeat it daily, you will not recognize your life a year from now. You will look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. That was when I stopped searching and started embodying. That was when I proved I was chosen. If you have walked with me through this entire message, through every picture, every decree, every practice, then write in the comments, I am chosen. Because I want to honor those who didn't just listen for a moment, but stayed until the end, allowing the law to rewrite their vibration. And if you feel the shift inside you, if something whispered, this is my truth, then please like this video. Not as a casual click, but as circulation, as your way of releasing energy that allows this message to reach another soul who is ready, just as you were, to step into millionaire consciousness. And if you are ready to go deeper, if you're ready to make this a daily practice, not just a one-time inspiration, then subscribe. Not casually, not for entertainment, but as a covenant with yourself. A conscious choice to continue walking in abundance, video after video, until wealth is no longer a dream, but your living reality. Because the truth is this, you are not waiting on wealth. Wealth is waiting on you. And now that you know you are chosen, nothing can stop it.